So here's the Damson Plum Gin that we'll end up with at the end of the video, ready to go in the cupboard and be salad for around a year or so. Got a 5 litre glass carboy, as you can see here, and sterilised it with some PBW. In the background there you can see some Beefeater gin from my grandfather's liquor cupboard. Unfortunately it's been opened, so I think the juniper flavour will be a bit muted, but in a Damson Plum Gin I think I'm not so worried. $10.57 on the label, so it's probably from the 80s at least, potentially the 70s. I've frozen these Damson plums to burst apart all the cell walls, and means I don't have to prick each one individually with the silver needle, which is the old-fashioned way of doing it. Should be good. Then we have the tedious process of getting all of them into the jar. I had picked a wide mouth carboy, but man, they were cold and it took a long time. So as you can see, the video is sped up, and I've cut it so you don't have to watch all of it. Lucky you. Thought I'd do a test at this point with some bottled water and a Pyrex jug just to see how much gin I will need or potentially end up with once all the plums, are removed at the end of this process. Turns out it's about 2 litres worth, which is, yeah, looks good. So I'm starting with the big bottle. The seal had been broken on this one, although it didn't look like anything had been taken. I did have a swig. It was not hugely oxidized, but a little bit. So just pouring it on. Obviously I'm going to need 2 litres, so I'll need to crack into one of the other bottles at least. In New Zealand we don't get sloe berries, which is SLOE, which is what they use in the UK for this sort of thing. Damson plums are the closest we can get, and up in Auckland where I live they don't grow the best, so I had to actually get them up from Wellington, a bit further south, where they grow a bit better. And there we go, this last one I think. It should fill it up just to cover the Damson plums. You don't really need extra, although you could if you wanted to. In the next video you'll see what I do to avoid any issues with that extra air. So I've grabbed my my CO2 tank for my brewing and put the hose in the top there and given the knob a turn. So not the most, yeah, as you can see the gas came out energetically, yeah, but it has pushed the oxygen out, and so CO2 being heavier than air, that's now got a CO2 blanket, so it'll stop any sort of bugs or nasties causing issues. Put the bung in it and then put it in the cupboard for a couple of months. I'll do another video when some time has passed.